everyone, and welcome to Live Your Bliss Today. This is Kenyette Kilpatrick, and today we have special guest Amanda Butler on the call with us. Amanda Butler is a highly gifted intuitive who has assisted thousands over the last 14 years to identify, address, and heal past experiences, patterning, conditioning, and programming from this lifetime and others within the personality egoic self so they can merge and co-create with their soul's essence, their true self and love. She developed the Diamond Co-Creative system, which activates your soul codes of destiny and success. The system accelerates your awareness, healing, transformation, manifestation, and expansion. Her expertise in energetic patterning and healing, which helps you to connect with your soul's essence and to resolve issues and fears once and for all, such as codependency, abandonment, rejection, scarcity, and lack of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-worth, so you can move on and be your true brilliant self. Today on the call, you will experience the power of energetic alignment with your soul's essence and highest potential as Amanda guides you and others on a journey of empowerment to create vibrational alignment with your true self, purpose, and love, find out what soul codes of destiny are and activate yours, develop a relationship between your personality, egoic self, and your soul. Discover how the past, along with your timeline, affects the present, and learn about the Diamond Co-Creative system, which accelerates your awareness, healing, transformations, and manifestations. Please join me in welcoming to the call Amanda Butler. Hello, Amanda.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited that we're on this call together. I feel, especially during this time of new beginnings and changes, that this will be a perfect call for all those that are on the call as well as that will hear this later on.
Absolutely. Well, Amanda, I believe that as well, and we'll just go ahead and get started. Can you start off with sharing a little of your background with our listeners of what occurred for you to start living according to your soul's guidance, and how did you begin to live your soul's journey?
That's a great question because quite literally my soul took over one day as I was sitting in my New York office, just moving into New York in my corporate job, and it was not what I wanted. It was just something that I thought I should do. I was a vice president of sales and marketing for a publishing firm, and it just wasn't feeding me anymore. It wasn't feeding my soul. It wasn't feeding who I was, and I just felt so disconnected. So on that first day, my soul literally got me fired, and it was the best thing that could have happened. So it ended up taking me on a journey because I didn't have a plan B. I was the type that had worked 80 hours a week, traveled all over the country, and it didn't do anything except work. So my identity and who I thought I was a vice president of sales and marketing. And what my soul was showing me is, no, you are so much more, and it's time for us to live that.
Well, wonderful. Did you have inklings of this before this started happening, or was this something that kind of was an onset and you kind of just felt this after a while?
That's a great question. It happened rather abruptly as far as that. The incident itself, but I could feel that I knew I was unhappy. I had been unhappy for, a couple, 3 years, and if you had looked at me back then, I looked old, and I felt empty inside. I didn't really know who I was. I was definitely living a codependent life, and I operated from all the shoulds that I thought I should do. And so, but I had started on a healing journey, and I was really connected to my spirituality about 3 years prior to that, and it was really about learning about energetic healing. And as I started doing that, shifts started happening. So it was just perfect timing in many ways that my soul said, we've had enough, it's time to move on.
Right. I know a lot of people are experiencing that right now. They feel like they might be in a dead-end job, or, you know, they're not making enough money. And I can see that a lot of people are hurting in that way.
Or they're in relationships that don't work. You know, they keep on sticking it out thinking, oh, it's going to change, or they just don't let themselves live and find out what's going on.
Right, exactly. Well, what are the soul codes of destiny?
So your soul codes, everyone holds these within themselves, and they hold specific packets of information and energy envelopes that are significant to you. So think of yourself as energy. Everybody's a vibrational signature. We're all unique. We're all special in our own way. And these soul codes are held within your cellular memory, within your soul. And when it's time, they're actually activated, and you can access the information that's there as well as the energy that's there for you to create a life in a different way while you're on this planet. So those soul codes of destiny hold things that you didn't even realize about yourself, or energies that you didn't even realize about yourself, and also what may be destined for you on some level that you didn't realize either. And as you allow for these soul codes of activation to occur, then life may change. Usually it does, and it changes in ways that could surprise you. And on some levels, sometimes it doesn't. Even when I, quote, got myself fired, I totally knew it wasn't the right thing to do. But it was more out of habit and, again, those shoulds that I was doing it. And when that soul code of activation occurred with saying we need to live more fully, and there's much more for you to do here and to experience here, and time to move on. Yes, it was surprising on some level, and then on some level it wasn't. It was only surprising to my personality, egoic self, but from a soul level, it wasn't surprising at all. It was just the next step. So,
well, what occurs when our soul codes are activated?
You start connecting to yourself in a whole different way. You start living purposefully. You start really finding out what you want and what matters to you. You also find out that you connect to that passion within yourself. You connect to that the values that you hold, that maybe that you're not even living from. I have a lot of clients that at times they don't realize they identify the values of what they hold dear to themselves, but they are not living them. And when they find that out, then they start making shifts in their lives. Like, let's say connection is a core value for themselves. But they're not taking the time to connect with themselves on a daily basis, like i.e. through meditation, and really finding out what's going on with themselves, how are they feeling, what's going on for themselves. So if they're not living that core value, and when they identify it, then they can make that shift.
Well, now I know that you said that your past affects your present. Can you kind of explain a little bit about how that works? And is this past lifetimes, or is this just your past in general?
It can be both. So for there are people that don't believe in past lives, and that's fine. Right. But there's an energetic pattern that is created within you, and it's created from every experience that you have. You hold that within your cellular memory. And those experiences create these energetic patterns, such as what are your beliefs, what are your feelings, what are your thoughts, and they dictate then what your behavior, your habits, the actions that you take. So let's say that you have an energetic pattern of going 80%, like achieving something almost to its goal, but then you stop someplace along the way. And so that energetic pattern may be tied into a past experience where maybe someone told you that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, or that you can't do it. Or maybe in another lifetime you experienced that you didn't achieve what you wanted to experience, or there was a loss when that achievement occurred. I've seen it with many people where they followed what they thought they should do, or even what they were guided to do. And what occurred was they were successful, but also there was a loss. Maybe they lost family, or they lost something occurred within a community. So now they have it energetically wired up as achievement equals loss. And when you have that,
they might lose all
the
money that they've. I'm sorry, Amanda, I didn't mean to interject, but I was just thinking, or they might get successful and then lose everything that they had worked so hard for, which has happened to quite a number too.
Right. So then they hold their, in their mind, and even in their heart, because their heart is wounded by that. And the mind then tries to protect you, right? It will make up stories about why not to go there or not to take that risk again. And so now we have fear running you rather than love running you. And so let's say you were really successful, but something happened. Let's use practical things like you had all your money in the stock market, it crashed and you lost everything, or you had it all in real estate and then that crash happened. And or there's many that have learned the hard lesson that they let other people manage their money and they really weren't paying attention to it, so they lost it. So when they have that wire up of that achievement equals loss, or me going after my dream isn't safe, because then they feel their safety and security is based on their money and what's in the bank, instead of safety and security being within yourself. And that comes from connecting with yourself and connecting with the universe. If they feel that that's true, then they'll only let themselves go so far. And, they stop 5 minutes before the miracle of the next success or the next achievement. And so many people have it wired up in different ways. Love is the same way, right? In relationships, maybe they've had the love of their life and something happened, a death, a divorce, a betrayal, something happened. So then they start wiring up as love equals pain. And so they'll only let themselves go so far in a relationship, and then they'll start to sabotage it, or what looks like sabotage. They'll start taking the person's, start going down the checklist of what's wrong with that person, and or what's wrong with the relationship. So they won't trust and have faith that everything is working out for them. And even if the relationship transitions into completion or transitions into something else, they don't have the trust or faith that everything is working out for them and it's all in divine order. And I talk with people over and over again, is it a vibrational match on anything? Whether it's a relationship, a job, what your passion is it a vibrational match? If someone asks you to do something, is that a vibrational match? Does it feel good? If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it's not something that you want, then say no. But we all grew up, most of us grew up in a codependent family or relationships or society that where we say yes when the ideal thing to do would say to be is say no. And we've had to learn how to take care of ourselves, and the way that we take care of ourselves is to connect. If you connect with yourself, and if you find out what you're feeling, and you really learn how to accept and acknowledge what's a vibrational match for you and what isn't, instead of making a story about it. Even when you're going through a transition in life, if you can let it go and allow, then the suffering and the struggle won't happen.
Right, right. Well, I wanted to ask you, once your soul codes are activated, how does it affect the way you create and live your life differently?
Right. So so what happens is, once the soul codes are activated, it still has to merge with the personality egoic self. And our personality egoic self is the expression of who we are on this planet. So when we can merge the two together, the personality egoic self and the soul, so you could even think of it as the personality egoic self usually operates just from the mind, where the soul operates from the heart. So when we can put those two together and merge those two together, or have them co-create together, then what happens is there's a true alignment. And as you do your healing work, so let's say the soul says, okay, we want to go out and start a new business, or we're starting a new relationship. But the personality egoic self has that old patterning we just talked about, right? It has it wired up in a way that's like scary. And when that occurs, and it's really about the soul and the personality egoic self working together, and the soul helping heal that old wound and helping heal it in such a way that the energetic alignment raises your vibration to what you want to manifest. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's like if you want something to happen, but you haven't prepared for it, then most likely it's not going to. And there's that alignment that has to take place, and things have to fall into place in order for it to actually manifest. So that does make sense. And
for you to allow it to fall into place. So let's say someone doesn't feel, someone says, I want a white Cadillac. That's what popped in. Okay. And they want a white Cadillac. But if they feel like they're only worthy of a beat-up used car, then they don't have a vibrational alignment to that white Cadillac. So what they have to do is raise their vibration to match the energy of the white Cadillac. And and it's the same in relationship. If you're used to abusive or negative relationships, but what you really want is a positive, healthy relationship, you'll keep attracting the old relationship until you feel worthier, until you really allow yourself to have a healthy, vibrant relationship with yourself first. And then as you raise your vibration, then now you can attract that person that will match the vibration of what you're holding.
Right. Well, this actually might be a good time to take a caller, and maybe you can, before we take the call, perhaps you can explain to us how your Diamond Co-Creative system works, and then we can kind of see how that works with what you're talking about right now.
Perfect.
I think that'll be a little bit easier to understand. Well, let's see. We actually have a couple of callers here, and let's see, Martin. Hello?
Yep, Lynn.
Is this Lynn? Hi, Lynn. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Well, Lynn, would you like to have Amanda use the Co-Creative system, Diamond Co-Creative system with you today?
Lynn knows very well about the Diamond Co-Creative system, right, Lynn?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. Lynn, perhaps then you can share with our listeners how using this program has helped you in your life.
Well, it gets you in touch with your inner family, and you're aware of the interaction of the child, the feminine and the masculine, and it also helps you to work with your chakra systems and the energy forms and things to bring balance into your life, into your body.
So what Lynn is talking about is the Diamond CoCreative system is actually consists of sacred geometry. It's a sacred geometry technology, and she had talked about the energy forms. And it's made up of what we call these universal and cosmic energy forms and templates. And what they do is they work with each person in a unique way. Every experience that any person has with the system is unique to them. But it will help a person accelerate the awareness, the healing, the transformation, and the manifestation of who they are and what they want. It will shed the light, if you will, on what is incongruent with what's going on, and it works with the chakra system, it works with the bodies, it works with the cellular memory, and when you're able to access this information through the Diamond CoCreative system, it helps you then accelerate that whole process. So, you know, if someone's been stuck in their codependency or abandonment or victimhood for years and years or all their lifetimes or lifetime and lifetimes, they can actually accelerate the process of that healing and be able to complete it and be done with it and like heal it once and for all. And so the system really is powerful in the sense that it will stretch somebody beyond what they know. And Lynn can, I'm sure, can share that. But it's also, it will help you get grounded in the wisdom, the knowledge and the wisdom of who you are, and then also help reveal to you what the more is, what the potential is, and even help you define your own desires and passions and what you want to create. And I think, Lynn, Lynn, you've really understand that. I mean, Lynn, I adore Lynn because Lynn's been with me for a couple of years, and she's been through the different courses as well as she was in Hawaii last year. We were in Hawaii last year swimming with the dolphins and working with the Diamond CoCreative system.
Oh, nice.
And
wonderful.
Prior to that, Lynn wouldn't have ever thought she could do that, and she was a master swimmer.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, what can you kind of give us an idea of some of the things that you've worked through in your life using the Diamond CoCreative system?
I worked through finally making the decision to get a divorce.
Which is a big deal, a huge deal.
Which is a big deal. Working with it in a situation at work where I was under a lot of stress. I've worked on it through back pain, and this year has been bankruptcy and moving and paring down my possessions and letting go of and releasing and expanding into more of, my new life.
Do you feel like these changes have been been easier using the program?
Definitely. I wouldn't be where I am today without it. I'm in a more peaceful, confident place, and really have expanded my view of what I am and what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Lynn has come from a place where she was very codependent and really didn't see the value of the value and the beauty of who she was or is, and now she just shines forth. I mean, and she is creating a whole new life, and it really, she had to go through all those different things she just talked about to get there, but those were things that needed to be rectified and resolved and completed so that she could move on into this next phase, and she's being well taken care of because of that.
Right. Well, thank you, Lynn, for calling in today. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
and Amanda,
Lynn. Yes.
I was going to ask you that, what is the 28-day journey to reconnecting with your soul's essence? And how can, I know that Lynn has shared some things, but can you also let us know how someone can experience the journey, what they can experience during this?
Yes. Is Lynn still on the line, though?
She is, actually.
I'll let Lynn talk about that for a second, just because
wonderful.
She's been a great advocate as far as how much of the 28-day journey has made a difference in her life.
Okay, great. Let me unmute Lynn again. And Lynn, can you share with us how that 28-day journey to reconnect with your soul has helped you and what the process is?
Yeah, the process is each day you work with a energy form, and you connect with the energy that's part of that, and you learn about your different energy centers and the different energy bodies, and getting them cleared and cleaned. And the 28-day process, it takes you 28 days to work through the journey. And it's a commitment to yourself to work through and connect with every part of that.
So one of the things that when I first introduced the 28-day journey, I wanted a way that people could work with a system on their own and go through their own exploration and discovery process. So what people receive in the 28-day journey is the actual energy forms that are part of the system, and an ebook that describes the energy forms, gives their different qualities, their different vibrations, what they can help you with, and how they can help, as well as there is a daily email that comes to you that has a focus for the day and a daily meditation. And the reason why I did that was what I found was people didn't really follow through without some support. And so if people really read that and stick with it, there's a process that happens with it. The first 7 days are about transform. The 7 days are alignment. The third 7 days are manifest, and the fourth 7 days are expansion. And what you do is you choose a goal for the month, And so let's say you want to feel more love in your heart or more compassion and grace with yourself, or you're trying to manifest something physically like a house, a new job, money, a relationship. You use what we call the universal manifestation template to put that goal in there. And then these daily meditations and the focus help you sort through and connect with, am I in alignment with that, or what's getting in the way of me creating that? And the energy forms, along with music that comes with each energy form, helps you vibrationally align with your goal or your desire. And we have a little joke, and the joke is don't put anything in the center of the manifestation template if you don't really want it to come true, because sometimes the result may look a little different than you thought. I had one gal at one time, they were fostering a dog, and the dog was a handful, and so she had put in the manifestation template, please find this the perfect home for this dog. And the next 2 days later, her daughter comes in the room and says, you know what, I really want to keep him. Can we keep him? The universe kind of has a way with us. But
absolutely, okay.
Yeah. But what I did was, when I first put this program together, I found that people were doing the program again and again and again, because then they were working on a different goal or a different intention. And so the second part of this program, or part of the program that you receive, is a compilation of all the daily emails in another ebook, so that you can do the program over and over. So it becomes a daily regimen and just a daily support system for you. And I think that's the thing that Lynn found, was every time that she did it, she went deeper and deeper and expanded into a more for herself, and working on different things.
Right, so this is not something that you would use once or for a time frame. You can actually apply this to manifesting as well as healing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Beyond. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to share what some people who have worked with you and who have used the program have mentioned. This is Michael in Indiana, says, during a session, Amanda assisted me in removing a block that had been there for lifetimes, and I claimed back parts of myself that had been lost, such as my power, confidence, and creativity. I became clear as to what I wanted in life and felt like I was worthy to have it. As a result, I allowed for my dream to come true, to have a family. I am so happy and feel so fulfilled. And that was Michael. And Cynthia in Arizona says, experiencing a session with Amanda took my soul on an incredible journey that connected me to my true divine self. It was the most loving, safe place I have ever remembered feeling. I didn't want that feeling to end. Our work together has helped my soul know what it could not tolerate anymore and empower my true self. It has given me the courage and dignity to move forward in life free of the wounds of the past and old beliefs about myself. I feel centered, peaceful, and full of life. Amanda helped me understand the whole process of letting go and moving forward to another level. That's amazing, Amanda. That's wonderful feedback, too, from the people who have worked with you.
Thank you. I haven't read those in a long time, so it was like, wow, I forgot about that. Well, I just so enjoy watching people blossom, like transform like a butterfly. And and it's not, I'm facilitating, but they have the desire and commitment to do so. And but it becomes a very co-creative process when I'm working with someone, and if they use the system, it just helps expand that even more. It makes it my work that I do with them so much easier. And it's also been a tool that they can use on their own, and that's part of it, is empowering people to be able to do their own healing work and to be able to be aware of who they are and what's going on for them. Lynn had talked about the inner family. That's one of the things that I teach is, we're made up of masculine, feminine, inner child energies, and each bring their own roles to the party, so to speak. And so the masculine is the doer, is the mind, is the one that puts things in structure and form. But if you just lead with the masculine, then you're probably going to be pretty exhausted and burnt out and not real happy with life. But if you can integrate and allow for the feminine to come in, and the feminine is our heart, is our the feeling, is the intuitive one, is the gatherer of information, ideas, and she's the one that actually gives us the impulses of when to do something. She's the one that gives the green light to the masculine, like, let's go now, let's make that phone call now, or, ooh, time for me to sit down and write my story, or, oh, I need to connect with someone in my family, because there's an intuition, a feeling of it. And then we have that inner child that brings the play, the adventure, the fun in it. And even when someone's going through, some really tough times, and Lynn had already shared with you, she's gone through some tough times, but we've been able to bring her inner child in, that even when it's tough, that play and adventure of, here's my new life that I'm going to. Yes, I have to complete this, and I'm now transitioning into this new life, and I can have play and fun even during the tough times. And just as I work with people during those type of times too, is you can have grace and gratitude during those too. Doesn't have to be an arduous process, and that's one of the things that the Diamond CoCreative system does, is help it not be an arduous process. Like, we get into some really deep things. There's some deep wounding and pain for a lot of people, and the system helps them go through it in a place of more ease, more grace. Yes, they have to feel the pain or address the grief or the sadness or the upset, but they don't have to stay in it for long. They just have to move through it and heal it and complete it and change that energetic vibration that they're in.
That's right. What you were describing sounds like so much resistance to the situation, and it seems like resistance just builds more of that same problem. It doesn't really help it, and until you're able to actually accept it and work on it, work through it, that's when it actually starts to heal and you can move beyond it. I know that people stay in that place sometimes for years and not move beyond that, and it really affects the quality of their life and the bliss that they feel in their life.
Absolutely. I mean, you're about live your bliss, right? The show's about live your bliss. You can't live your bliss if you choose to, and it becomes a choice. If you choose to stay in struggle and suffering because you're resisting the change or resisting doing the work or resisting what's there for you to look at, then you'll just get more of that, and bliss can't come because you're in a vibrational alignment that's a lower vibration. And bliss does not operate in a low vibration. Bliss operates in a higher vibration.
Right. And some people have asked, this is going on and this is going on, and how am I able to live my bliss when I'm dealing with all of this? And that's one of the reasons you have to get a higher vibration to move into that, to even contemplate that for your life. Well,
and just to go back to that for a second, that's what the system will help do, is uplift them out of that vibration and uplift them into a blissful place, even in a tough time.
Well, I'm always excited to help people take control of their lives, and I know there's so much more that they can learn from you, Amanda. You've created a special offer for everyone who's listening to the call right now and in the future as well, and I'd encourage you to go to Amanda's special offer page. That actually is, I've got a shorter link for it. It's http:// bit.ly/1 W QC V S M, or just simply click on the special offer button if you are on the page. And Amanda, I know that you've gone a little bit through the Diamond CoCreative system, but can you really go into detail as to what someone would get if they were to get the special offer today?
Yes. So the offer includes a reconnect with your soul's essence, a Diamond CoCreative system journey, and that's the 28-day journey. It includes an ebook with the universal energy forms and universal manifestation template, and there's suggested ways to utilize them in your everyday life and or for a specific purpose and manifestation. So that, like you said earlier, it can be for healing, or it can be for bringing something more into your life, or for a specific project or specific type of manifestation. The system also has a sound vibration to it, and that sound was channeled in through Paul Armitage and on a CD called A Soul's Journey, and that's included in this package. And each of the tracks go with one of the universal energy forms. So the A Soul's Journey, the MP3 downloads are included, and you could use them for your meditation during the journey, or just for your sheer pleasure, because what happens is it raises your vibration. If you're working on a project at home or even cleaning the house or whatever, you become aligned with whatever it is that you're doing, and it really helps in co-creating and expanding whatever is going on for you. And then there's a series of daily meditations, as we talked about, and these have to support you on a daily basis throughout that month. And they include a daily focus as well as a meditation. And I started laughing as I was writing them because they actually became kind of mini lessons of life. And you were talking about the acceptance piece and acknowledgement piece. And we actually go step by step as to how to process through something that's going on in your life. And every email builds upon the other email. And so that comes to you in a daily email, as well as it's compiled in an ebook so that you can use it for another experience after that 30 days. And then I wanted to add in, and usually that would just be enough, just to have the system in the 28-day journey. But I felt like it would be important to have a half-hour conscious choice coaching session with me that you could utilize in maybe helping you become aware of what to work on, or maybe something's happening in your life you don't understand. So it can be kind of a discovery call and coaching session, as well as if you want more coaching around how to use the system. And that's a half hour that's included, and that's done via phone and Skype. And if you live outside of the U.S., Skype is great. I have plenty of clients in Canada and Australia and, in Europe, so where we do the Skype calls. So so this will be a way to learn how to apply the system, or you want some coaching on something specific or within your life or maybe business or relationships. So that usually that value would have been $269, and we're offering it for $127. So
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Amanda. I know that it's chock full of so many useful tools that people can move through healing and as well as manifestation, which is a huge thing. I know a lot of people are interested in that, and they because of movies like The Secret and books like that as well, I think people are confused about that, and so this kind of helps to clarify it a little bit more, that you have to get in alignment with these things that you are wanting to manifest before they actually happen in your life. So I think that's
and it's not just a thinking process or setting an intention. That's part of it. Visioning what you want is definitely part of it, and being clear on that. But then you have to bring that into a feeling tone, and in that feeling tone then is a manifestation. But that thought feeling is a vibration. And if you have something operating in the background, static, if you will, and so the radio dial isn't quite on the whole channel or the channel, then you're going to have that static going on, and it's only going to allow you to manifest so far or get so far in your own healing process, and then it won't resolve itself, or it won't come to fruition in a way that you want.
Right.
And it's also learning how to allow for the more and allow what may look different than what you thought, because the universe has the whole picture, and typically we only have a limited scope of what's available to us, and sometimes our mind just holds us at that limited scope, and the fears can hold us back because we're afraid of the unknown. And if we're afraid of the unknown, then we're not going to step into something that's unfamiliar, and yet the familiarity of what we're in may be so uncomfortable and not work for us. There are so many times people will still stay in that and not do a conscious choice or make a conscious choice and decision to move out of it. But eventually, this is what happens. The universe gets a hold of you, just like my soul got a hold of me. There were signs, that said, do not move out to New York. Well, here, we'll just get you fired so you really get it. But if you aren't listening, the universe is going to turn up the volume. So the universe may be whispering in your ear, don't go down that path, or this is done, this relationship's complete, or time to find a new job, whatever it is, time to move. Mm-hmm. If we're not listening to that, then it's going to turn up the volume, it's going to amp it up, intensify the experiences we have until literally we're running into a brick wall. And if we're running into a brick wall, maybe they'll get our attention. So, but we don't have to do it that way, but you could make a conscious choice versus being on automatic pilot to do something different.
Well, lovely. Well, thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing today. Before we end the call, I know this is the end of the call, would you like to maybe say some parting words to the audience that you can leave them with? I wanted to mention also that I really love the music that is part of the program, the CoCreative system, as well as the meditations, and I know that they are effective, and I just feel like it's an excellent program for those of the listeners who are interested in moving forward on that. But did you have any parting words for us?
I would say the thing to do, and especially in the energies that we're in right now, with what's going on throughout the world, for us in the United States, the government, blah blah blah, it's important to keep connected to you. Connect you with you. Because if you don't do that, you're going to let these outside circumstances and influences and everything that's occurring, run your life versus you running your life. And when you feel out of control, then people tend to try to control things. And the only thing that you can control is how you feel inside. Happiness, passion, peace is within. It's not outside. It's not in our bank accounts. It's not in a relationship. It is within ourselves. So, take this time, connect with you. The system can really help you do this. It helped me. I understand. I worked the system as I developed it. I worked it myself. I was hugely codependent. I had major abandonment, rejection, victim issues. None of that runs me now, and I attribute it to my commitment to heal, but also the system in helping me with that healing process. I understood what was wrong, but I didn't know how to get there. And because this works with energy, and it works with our energy fields and vibration, it helped accelerate that whole process very quickly and deeply, that these issues are resolved once and for all. So my parting comment is this: give yourself the permission to connect you with you, however you want to do that, but the system could be a way to do that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for sharing with us today.
Thank you, and thanks for everything that you're doing. Keep doing it. Live your bliss. This has always been a pleasure when somebody is doing their passion as you are, and I know you have a huge commitment to helping people. So thank you.
Thank you,
Namaste
Amanda,
on that.
And thank you, everyone in our audience, for tuning in today and getting into a space to align with your soul's highest and best purpose. To end the call, I wanted to share a quote from the Dalai Lama, who, when asked what surprised him most about humanity, answered, "Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money, then he sacrifices money to recoup his health, and then he is so anxious about the future that he does not even enjoy the present, the result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he's never going to die, and then dies having never really lived." I really hope that that is not the reality for many of you listening or for humanity. My hope is actually that everyone listening to these calls is taking some time to do the things that fulfill your life's journey and to live your bliss today. Until next time, take care.